time it is. Hey, go grab your drink, sit back, and enjoy the Mr. Titan Show with Mr. Titan himself. Tighten up. Let's go.
What's up, Titan Nation? My name is Mr. Titan. Again, thank you guys for joining me for another episode. Today we'll be breaking down the Cleveland Browns versus the Tennessee Titans. The 8-3 Cleveland Browns versus the 8-3 Tennessee Titans, man. It's going to be an AFC matchup for tomorrow. And again, sorry for actually posting this video a little bit later than later. Supposed to do it a little bit earlier this week, but things got in the way, and I do apologize. But thank you guys all for watching. If you haven't liked, subscribe, share, do what you need to do, please. And thank you if you're on Spotify. If you on Apple Podcasts, please rate me. I'd appreciate it very much. Again, big week, big game for tomorrow. A lot of people are saying that the Titans are just going to run away with this game. I mean, that's where I think every Titan fan feels like every game that we're in, we should run away with it. But again, things don't go according to plan, and it ends up backfiring, or it's just a little bit closer than we expect. I believe this game is going to be it's going to be close. It's going to be a close game. Again, the Cleveland Browns, they're 8-3 as well. They're putting their 3-game winning streak against us. Again, doesn't matter who they face. A lot of people are saying that their opponents weren't as good, and that the Titans play quality teams, which is true. We played the Steelers and stuff like that. So our competition has been a little bit better than them, but still, it's the NFL, man. Any given Sunday, anyone's game. So you can't just say that. It's kind of hard to rack up 3 wins in a row. So you got to give the Cleveland Browns some credit. But the hype train, right? Last year coming out, that was the first game for the Tennessee Titans, season opener in Cleveland. Everyone had the Cleveland Browns, and we washed them up. We cleaned them out. I mean, it was pretty much a blowout, and the hype train kind of stopped. So then when they started picking up steam again this year, they're playing a lot better, and they're continuing their growth as a team itself. The hype started coming back. People are saying now they're for real, and this and that, yada, yada. Could possibly be true. I can see them definitely in the playoffs. I mean, this is not a bad team whatsoever. They still have a few pieces here and there. They're still good, and the team is again, like I said, they're almost like every other team in the NFL. They're starting to get a good rhythm, just like the Tennessee Titans. Usually, the Tennessee Titans towards the end of the seasons start making that run like we're doing now. I feel like every game now is almost like a playoff game. All right, we have to get that mentality in already starting December. Start playing physical. Start beating offensive linemen. Start beating defensive linemen. People need to step up, and this team really needs to come alive, especially the second half. Derrick Henry, Tannehill, all those guys need to step up, just because the Cleveland Browns, I feel like they could be like the Tennessee Titans of last year, where they get into the wild card, and then you don't want to play that team. You don't want to play them because they'll end up sneaking up and beating you. So, again, the Tennessee Titans are a different team from last year. Same thing like the Cleveland Browns. So I tell everyone this: don't take the Browns lightly. Again, they're right in there. They're still an NFL team, and I believe they'll give us a run for their money. But I still think that the Tennessee Titans will come out victorious, not because I'm biased, because I'm a Titans fan. I mean, The channel says itself. But we're going to read some stats. We're going to go over the injury report, okay, for the Browns and for the Tennessee Titans, guys, all right? So let's just dive right into it. Let's just get right into it. She said, all right, so let's see. So we have Baker Mayfield. It's 180. His total was 2,100. Oh, look at this. Wow, that's crazy. So he's thrown for 294 attempts. He has 2,000 and barely 100. He has 17 touchdowns, 7 picks. You got Nick Chubb, and that's almost like the difference maker. You know, they got Kareem Hunt, they got Nick Chubb, both a two-headed monster, which is cool. You know, they got that two-headed monster. What they do combined is what we have, what the King does, Derrick Henry. So they have two players that can do that. We have just one player that can do both of their jobs. So that just shows you how much of a value, how much of a big piece Derrick Henry is. So you guys got to keep that in mind. Nick Chubb is 115 carries for 719 yards, 6 touchdowns. You got Jarvis Landry, 46 receptions, 614 yards, 1 touchdown. It's okay. I mean, again, they do have weapons. They have Beckham. They got some pieces, obviously, wide receiver wise. Okay, they can give us a run for their money. I mean, we're facing our old Jack Conklin as well. We lost last year, and he's been decent for the Browns, as well as Taywan Taylor. But I think he's hurt. I think he's not playing. But I remember last year, right before we lost him to that game, everyone's like, "Oh, he's going to give the secrets to the Titans away and this and that," and we still smoked him. So don't worry about either player. All right, for the Titans, we have Ryan Tannehill, who's thrown for 2,608 yards total, 23 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's playing like my buddy said. He's playing very conservative. He hasn't made any stupid plays. He had a couple bogus interceptions, but I mean, it happens. You know, you're going to be under pressure. You live and you learn. You got Derrick Henry, 256 carries for 1,257 yards, 12 touchdowns. Awesome. A.J. Brown, 40 receptions, 638 yards, 8 touchdowns, where he's having a nice year so far. So here are a couple of people that are out. You got Hodge, their wide receiver, who's out. Taywan Taylor, who's out. Denzel Ward, their cornerback, is out. And Tedrick Tomlinson is out. I don't know if Myles Garrett is going to be playing. I mean, if he does, let me know in the comments because I sure as hell don't know. I don't think I was reading up on that. But if he does play, it'll be his first game back. And I think we'll be ready. I think we'll be fine if he plays or if he doesn't play. We should be able to handle him. But it's just one more person you just got to keep an eye on, especially that defensive front. Unfortunately, injury report for the Tennessee Titans. You got Jonnu Smith, who's been, I think, battling a knee injury, which unfortunately he's out. His knee or ankle? It's one of the two. I know one time it was his ankle, now it's his knee. You got to think about if he's going to be available for next year. This is where he's trying to get the most money. Adoree Jackson, again, it's a no-show. I'm not too concerned about Adoree anymore. I don't think he's going to be playing this year. It's just my opinion. The way things are going, I don't think I'm not too worried. Not getting my hopes up if Adoree Jackson comes or not. You got to have that player's mentality, their coach's mentality of next player up. And it looks like it's been working for all the players that have stepped in and done a great role. We got Tart, who was excellent on the defense. You also had Borders as well has been stepping up lately. Like all his play, like what he's been doing, he's getting more reps, so they're getting a little bit more familiar. And again, that's what you need, especially down the stretch. If people get hurt and stuff, you need that next player up mentality. And this Tennessee Titans team does have that and has that capability of producing. As you can tell, we don't have Clowney, and even without Clowney, they looked like a better team. So again, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't want Clowney on there. Clowney does a lot that people don't see. He does put pressure on the QB and helps out a lot, even though the stats or the numbers don't show. Um, don't always go by the stats. All right, guys. Roger Stafford is questionable. So is Jeffrey Simmons. I believe they will play. It's happened before time and time. Isaiah Wilson is out as well. Unfortunately, we needed Panda. I'm just kidding. That's me being sarcastic. He played, I think, one snap or a couple of snaps. I don't know. Apparently, he was blocker for a field goal, and I think he tripped. He got caught up on someone's leg. It is what it is. Again, he's still a work in progress, regardless if he's a first-round pick or not. That's what it's really, really, showing a big, big dark cloud over him just because he was that first-round pick. I think if he was a third-round pick or maybe fourth-round pick, I don't think we would have been worried about him that much. But just the fact that he is a first-round pick, people get to criticize him a little bit more. He needs to step up, though, from the plate. But it is what it is. So the last 5 of the Browns' opponents, let's talk about it, all right? So we can see where this team's at. So they played Jacksonville, they played Philly, they played Houston, they lost to the Raiders, and they beat the Bengals. All right? So that was their result. Ours, again, we played the Colts, beat them. Ravens, we beat them. Lost to the Colts. It was vice versa. Sorry about that. So we played the Bengals, lost. Played Chicago Bears, won. Indy lost. Beat the Ravens, and then just came off a nice victory over the Colts. So the ball's in our court right here. This is just for AFC positioning. Okay, guys? We're the number 3 seed right now in the AFC, number 1 in the AFC South. Okay? And this could end up being a playoff game as well if you think about it. They're right in the hunt, guys. They are right in the hunt with us. And I'm just going to give you my my 3 keys on beating the Browns. And then I'll give you, obviously, my predictions. So here we go, guys. How to beat the Browns. Stop the run game. Automatically stop the run game. Stop Nick Chubb. Stop Kareem Hunt. If you stop them, I think we have a very good chance. Have Baker Mayfield beat us throwing it. Again, he's still a young quarterback. He makes silly decisions. Start getting him, get him frustrated. We'll start getting picks. Last year was really, really good. As you saw, Malcolm Butler had a pick, and who else had it? There was a couple other people I had. I think Malcolm Butler had 2 picks that game. So you get them frustrated, stop the run game, make them throw it. Now, don't get me wrong. Baker Mayfield can throw. He's not a bad quarterback. He can sling the ball. But as long as you get him frustrated, I think we have an advantage over that. Again, second key is the defense needs to apply that pressure. Maybe have Tar had a couple QB pressures looked really, really good. Saw some tape on him. Excellent burst off the ball and stuff. So would like to see a couple people step up. Will Compton did really, really well. Him and David Long Jr., they both were swapping out. They were basically filling in for not filling in. They're replacing Jayon Brown. But they did really, really good on switching those 2 players out. I think David Long did really, really good. His first game back, getting him, that cycle and getting him comfortable. And we'll see what he does throughout these other games to get him, get his feet wet. But Will Compton did a very, very very good job. And Malcolm Butler, man, people are taking him for granted. I know most likely he probably won't be here next year, unfortunately. just the way he's been playing. He's so aggressive and stuff, and I just love his mentality, man. I think he's the one. He's almost like a Logan Ryan right now for this Tennessee Titans football team. If you guys think about it, he brings the nastiness out in this team, and it shows. I mean, him chirping at the Ravens coach, and I like them standing in the middle of the field, claiming what's there. So give Malcolm Butler all the props in the world. Loved it. Loved everything about him. I loved his aggressiveness. So, you know what? Shout out to Malcolm Butler again. A lot of people were doubting him. We'll get into the Kevin Byard talk maybe later on, maybe in the post game with Gerald McGrath. But the Titans, I think Kevin Byard, a lot of people are giving him some slack. I mean, not giving him slack. They're just giving him some shit just because I think he messed up on one play and stuff. But again, this defense is different, guys. Defense is different. DP is not there. The whole defensive scheme has changed from last year. So players are asked to do a lot more than they were last year, maybe a little bit more, and putting people in tougher spots. Again, defensive line needs to put pressure on the quarterback. Makes it easier for the DBs, easier for the safeties. And I think they lack that this year. So, again, don't be too hard on Kevin Byard. A lot of people, when they do a good play, they love him, and then the next game he messes up, and everyone's on him. So don't be like that. Don't be like that, guys. Come on. We're better than that. So the third way to beat the Cleveland Browns, I would say it right here. Derrick Henry. I know it's an obvious. It's always an obvious, but Derrick Henry is going to beat them. You just got to keep feeding him. Keep feeding him. It's going to open up the lanes. It's going to open up play action, and just keep doing. Arthur Smith just needs not to be cute with it, okay? Because sometimes he has some calls, and you're just like scratching your head because you're like, what are you doing? But I really think you just need to play aggressive football, feed Derrick Henry the ball, and when it's like 3rd and 1 or 2nd and 1, don't try to throw, don't try to do some slants. Feed Derrick Henry. He'll get there. I think our offense line will really, really show up just like they did last game against the Colts. It was very surprising, but also encouraging as well. So definitely see us winning this game. And here's going to be my prediction. Again, I said it was going to be probably a very close game, but then I'm really bad at predictions. That's why I don't like doing them. But hell, let's do it. It's going to be Titans 31, the Browns 24. All right. I think it's going to come down to whoever has the ball the longest and our defense. Our defense needs to show up. So I believe the Tennessee Titans will have a victory. We're going to have a victory Monday. People are going to be hyped up. We're going to be 9-3, really excited, really happy. And then we move on to the following games as well. So, again, if you guys haven't checked me out, check out Mr. Titan on podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If not on YouTube, there's nowhere else to look for me, so you're screwed there. But, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, thank you for Big Dog that did my intro. We have a couple more intros like that. It's going to be really, really good. And I do appreciate anyone who supported me throughout the months of me doing YouTube. Again, thank you guys so much. Remember, the post-game show always is going to be, I think, either 3:45 Central Time with Gerald McGrath, or it's going to be at 7 o'clock. Just make sure you look at it. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll keep you guys posted for that post-game show. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a nice day. Thank you so much. Tying up. Let's go.